I look at people on certain stages and people that are getting 50,000, 70,000 a speech. And I'm like, dude, I know everything they know. Like, why am I not up there? And we were trying to go back and forth of figuring out what was the difference between them and me. So I just had a conversation with one of my agency university members, and we were talking about him getting ready to hire a salesperson. I was giving him a couple little pointers about that. But I also was telling him where he needs to focus on to really kind of scale his agency to the next level. And I went through kind of something that I've been missing out in this particular business. And literally I was chatting with one of my mentors and I was like, and it was just like an epiphany. And I said, holy cow, that's it. That's one of my biggest problems that I could not even see. And so listen to the call I have with my agency university member, and it'll help you out. Have you chatted with the sales guy about like how is he going to be successful in the first couple months and have him lay out a plan for you? The biggest thing is with salespeople, you need to set the expectation of what you're expecting from them and what you're going to measure them on, right? And then who cares how they actually do it, as long as they do it ethically, right? But you need to lay out the expectations and what you expect, and then they lay out the plan, okay? And they should do this before you actually hire them. And then if you like the plan and you've liked how they followed up with you, right, they should be treating you like a client. And then if you like all that, then you pull the trigger. If they miss the boat on it, like if they're bad at getting back to you and you have to get back to them, if you're the one that's always asking the questions, they're not asking the questions, right? And if they automatically say, how many leads are you going to give me, right? There should be red flags to say, this is not the right person for me. It could be a couple things, right? If they come at you and say, I want to be commission only, it could mean they really believe in themselves and they know they can dominate, right? Or yeah, they could be rubbish and they could be like, just give me a job. But you also need to look out for because you got to devote a lot of time to someone. Like people come to me all the time wanting to work with me, and literally they go, Adam, they go, I want to work for you for free. And I don't take them up on their offer most of the time just because I know how much time I have to give to them. The one thing I want you to still make sure you focus on is building relationships. This is something that is part of my 90-day goal or yearly goal and future goal, right? So I was talking to one of my mentors and I was telling him, I was like, look, I have a great business, we're growing, but I want to scale it at a faster rate. And I told him, I said, look, Aaron, I look at people on certain stages and people that, are getting 50,000, 70,000 a speech. And I'm like, dude, I know everything they know. Like, why am I not up there? And we were trying to go back and forth of figuring out what was the difference between them and me, right? And I was just like, well, and we kept going back and forth. I was like, well, someone like Gary, he puts out videos and all that kind of stuff. And he's run a big agency. I've run a big agency. I've sold it. He's sold businesses, right? And I'm like going back and forth. And then all of a sudden it hit us. And it was like, well, how are you with building relationships? And I'm like, dude, I suck at it. I'm not good. Literally, I'm kind of like, I'm happy in my little bubble. I'm happy on top of the mountain. And then he started explaining his business to me. And he said, look, I've built this whole business off relationships. And it hit me. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the one thing, right? Because everybody always asks, they're like, what's your biggest challenge, Jason? I'm like, I really don't have one. And that's probably the problem. But then finally, earlier today, Aaron figured it out, and then it was like a light bulb. I was like, just drop the mic, hang up the phone. You got the Frank the Tank moment. And I was like, I haven't built relationships in a long, long time. I mean, I have my close friends, that kind of stuff, but I really haven't promoted other people. I haven't built relationships. I haven't, other than with the agency community, right? I'm putting deposits away, I'm always depositing, giving you guys good stuff. But Outside of that, I haven't. And so what I'm telling you is learn from my mistake, and don't think about, hey, all I need is a funnel, right? I know I know businesses, like now looking at it now, I know businesses that don't have a funnel, that stink at Facebook, that have grown multi-million-dollar businesses off relationships alone. So I don't want you to make the mistake that I just realized that I'm correcting now. All right, so now that you know you should always be building relationships, hopefully you're not an introvert like me. I'm going to start trying to bridge out and get out of my way and start building relationships. And hopefully you got a couple little pointers on hiring a salesperson, because it's all about setting expectations and telling them how you're going to measure them and having them come up with a plan in order to be successful, and making sure that they have the same core values and the beliefs and they're honest and that kind of stuff that you do, and they'll be very, very successful for you. So I would love to hear your comments. Make sure you subscribe, and until next time, have a swank day.